Right, let me just set up some stuff. Open, Sango, set up this. Let me go to YouTube. I think let's grab the lo-fi. They're really soft, just enough for myself to hear. And then head down to music lounge, mute, screen 1, and save. Everything should be okay. Chat app, open browser. Okay, connections here is okay. Alright, over here as well. Okay. And going back here, setting the opacity for the background. Okay. And make sure to duplicate a new layer, and then I'm gonna set this as well. Okay, set this down. All right, so welcome to this evening's 1% class. For today, we will be coloring Sango, and I think that pretty much will be the last character that I will be painting, at least for the Inuyasha side. Then probably move on to the Seishomaru side in future. Today's takeaway will be how to color, how to blend your colors with the line art that we did in Tuesday on Tuesday. If you can see, trying, or I usually will use the reference is from the official artwork. If you were here last stream, you will see me getting really excited with a fan art. This is from Google image. Even though I really like the color palette, the way it's being rendered, it's very cute and stuff, I will at most save it and just put it in my save folder. But when I'm painting, I will not take it out and use it as a reference, because it's an interpretation from another artist. So if I were to use the artist's interpretation, it's like I'm interpreting from an interpreting art piece, I guess. It's like you will kind of end up doing a fan art of the artist's style 50%, and the other 50% is the character, which is Sango from the Inuyasha. So I would highly recommend, if you are using artist fan artworks as reference, try not to do it. Maybe one, twice. If you grasp the gist of it, then try not to keep seeing it, because it's pretty much like a cheat sheet kind of thing. The answers are all there and everything else. But if you use the original reference to interpret with your own understanding and your own control, it's really riding a bicycle without the baby wheels. You kind of fall at the first few steps, first few rides, and along the way you will improve over time. So I hope if you are using artist fan artworks as a reference, if you can, same thing, Tuesday, Thursday is really the get out from your comfort zone. days. So during Tuesday and Thursday, you try to follow my pace if you're watching the live stream, and see whether can you adapt, and if possible, implement it into your usual workflow. Alright, so let's begin by doing the color blocking. Okay, so we're gonna go in here and just give it a slide down a bit. Same thing, I'm gonna grab the colors, I'm gonna paint it out. Okay. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask in the comment section, whether you are watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or Pikachu, and so on and so forth. Even if I've answered it previously, but if you do not know the answer, do not hesitate to type in the comments, and I'll definitely get back to you whenever I check back the chat. Okay, so we're just gonna block out the usual shading areas. And the way I always choose my colors is always a number 7, from the highlight to the mid-tone and to the dark tone or the shadow area. Okay, so I'm going to slowly glide through, and I always use at least maybe 4 and above for my shading. I felt that I have more control. I can, or I should say, I'm allowed to play more and experiment more when I have more this kind of color gradient thing. So try not to stick to only 3. Okay, so I'm just gonna paint all these areas. It's gonna blend it a little down here as well. Okay, and we'll carry on onwards as well. So you can see this is already my 3rd selection of for the skin tone. I haven't even moved into the mid-tone. And during this phase, just like the sketching phase, is really blocking out the colors. We are not going to zoom in and blend the colors to make things look smooth. We're really just keeping it at 100% and reviewing it as a whole to make sure that the colors have been placed appropriately, and is shading enough, is the lighting being put properly, just to make sure that it looks alright at 100%. So that's the key takeaway for this step. Okay, so with that skin tone done, we're gonna move on to the hair. The highlight is brown and the non-highlighted areas are a bit dark. So I'm gonna use brown first. So you can grab some brown color, probably. Say maybe this color. Can we use this? No, it's a bit too red. So you experiment. The most important thing is the vibe. We are not drawing exactly the same, but we are referencing from an existing character. So if you want to train your fan art vibe, means the art of extracting, deforming, and recreating, and still look or somewhat feels the same as the original, we try to understand our own colors and understand our own workflow, so when we reconstruct it, it looks as if it's one whole set, rather than the hair is from the official colors, then the face is your own favorite color and stuff like that. It just makes things very messy. So you feel the vibe, and if the moment you apply it just a little bit and it feels like, okay, this color looks somewhat similar, not exactly the same, because you still have to add in the highlights, the shadings, the backlights and everything else, but just by the flats itself, it looks quite, oh, not bad. Then yeah, sure, you can go ahead and just apply the rest, just fill it up first. I usually tackle the face and the hair, then I move on to the rest of the parts. It's because I find the face is usually the hardest, and the hair is the second hardest. Reason being, I like to make sure, and this is the two places that a non-artist will pay attention to, which means your fans, your clients will pay attention to these two parts the most. So I really want them to be, at least the foundation is very firm, very solid, before moving on to paint the shoulder pads, the knee pads, and so on and so forth. Because you can have the nicest shoulder pad or the knee pad, but if the hair and the face looks weird, or the colors just isn't outstanding, no matter how nice is the shoulder pad or knee pad, it really won't give you much plus points. Yeah, so this is one key thing to take away, and I've been very particular in these two areas, which is the face and the hair. These two must be properly set up first. Okay, so we have this. I'm just gonna put it by the side here, and now we are just going to paint in the shadow areas. Again, slowly sliding downwards, gradually. Yeah, I think the keyword here will be gradually. So if you want a smoother gradient when you are painting, like the transition of your shades is smoother, then I would strongly suggest you to control your darker colors. You do not do a huge jump like this. So instantaneously you will see that these two are very big of a difference, but rather choose something that is darker, but when you blend it out later on, you won't feel that kind of harshness. Usually for harshness, it's like swords, where it's like 90-degree or the edge is really sharp. Then you want to have that kind of harshness. For a rounded surface, usually they are smoother and more gradual with the shadows. Okay, so I'm just gonna make some shape out here, some random shapes. I'm just gonna color the back area here. So give me a minute, a message. Okay, let's carry on. Yeah, so once we got the darker shades in, we put it at the edge. You can see that I don't put it here, even though I know I need to. And with that, I'll just do a quick blocking out, because my brush is set to 80% opacity. So every time when I color pick and I paint and I color pick and I paint, the colors are actually blending. So many times when people ask, can I have your brush and stuff? I can give you the brush, but it's really like a manual car. The brush doesn't have those settings that it can help you to blend or smudge. It's really on you to keep pressing the Alt key to just keep picking the colors out and gradually push it into the brighter area, or the brighter colors push it into the darker areas. Okay, so that's why certain parts looks a bit harsher, some parts looks a bit softer. It's because it's the amount of this alternate key, the color picker, that I pick and use to create this transition or this gradual look for the colors. Yeah. Okay. So once I have that over here, I'm just gonna cut it up here as well. Okay. Right. And okay. So once we have that, we want to be really careful because this is just the starting. We don't want to keep pushing in even darker colors, and it will just make the whole drawing very dark. So especially dealing with darker colors. So right now, if let's say this brown is it's already quite dark, because usual color palettes I choose is always on top here, so it's somewhat near to the middle, and the second one is already hitting the middle point. For this, I will use for now 3 colors. So this one, I'll just go down, and then maybe I'll go inside to the maybe the more purple red area here. Okay, so like when I was talking about the skin, I mentioned I try to use 4 and above. Then suddenly, why for the hair I'm only using 3? The main reason is because if you're dealing with dark colors, they tend to draw the attention as much as high contrasting colors. So even though they are not in high contrast, but the values is very dark and very heavy. So if you continue to put in more tones of darker colors, you're just going to keep drawing attention to the hair, and that will cause the unbalance. And if you want to balance things out, the other parts have to compensate and throw in even darker colors just to make the whole drawing as a whole, and before you know it, your entire drawing is very dark. So for now, we'll be using only 3 dark colors, and after that we'll continue to paint the rest of the body, the rest of the armor, and once everything has been laid out and we still feel that it could be improved, then we'll start adding in the 4th dark color or 1 highlight, just to make it a 4 colors or 5 colors and above. So this is some things to take note of, especially in the blocking phases. I always say it's like the Allen key rule. Like if you have tried fixing up a furniture, maybe from IKEA and stuff like that, the usual process is to first you tie down or you screw in the 4 legs of a chair or a table first. You do not tie down or screw an entire leg in and then you move on to the next and then move on next. You find that it will be very wobbly, but rather you do maybe all 50 50 50, then after that all 100 100 100 100. So this is what I usually would tell people. If I have the IKEA chair in the studio, so I'll show them is that I follow this rule, like how I build furnitures or fix furnitures. Whenever I have one, and I'll label this way of processing as the Allen key rule. So it's something that you can take away. Okay, I'm not going to put too much, just slightly lay it out here, and maybe I'll just put it on the what's it called, eyelashes area here. Okay, all right. now we're done with that. We're gonna put in the armor, which is same thing, which is a very dark tone. It's kind of bluish or greenish. I would assume it's a bit more on the green side. Oh no, it's a blue side. Okay, can. So I'm gonna use something like this. Not the usual color that I'll be using. Is it okay? Okay, it looks a bit too green. I'm just gonna show you how we go. Alright, this looks cool. So same thing, always test a bit, put it in, because we are viewing at 100. If I'm viewing at only this view, why I always say don't view it in the zoom in view is you do not know how it looks like when you paint it like this, and how does it looks like together with the skin and the hair tone. It might look good at 100% because you are just viewing through this frame, but is it harmonizing with the skin foundation? Is it harmonizing with the hair foundation? Is it harmonizing with both the skin and the hair foundation? You do not know. So when we are blocking colors, I keep emphasizing viewing it at a full view is the best way, and it's the, how to say, the least error that will many young artists will make is over focusing, over doing in a particular section, only to realize that it's nicely done, but it just doesn't look good with the rest of the parts. This is the usual headache that most young artists will face, including myself. So don't fall into this trap. So do the blocking first. You can be all messy. You can have just really enjoy picking colors and just combining it to form different combinations. I would say painting is really like playing a game of cards. It's like whatever game you play, Hearthstone or maybe Digimon or Pokemon, it's like the cards are there, which is represented by the colors, and how you want to play your combo, how you want to attack, defend when a situation come out, how you're gonna approach. You have all these preset formulas to play, but your opponent, you don't have an opponent when you're drawing, but your opponent when you're drawing is actually your canvas, which is your current situation, your current color combination. You put in the colors, it doesn't look good. How are you gonna salvage it? Are you gonna close it, redraw from sketch, or are you gonna just think that what colors should I add or subtract to make the colors harmonize with one another? So this is something I want you to pay attention when you are painting in the future. Don't just alternate F4, redo, but rather when things don't look good, stop, look at the image, put in some processing power into your canvas and see if can it be salvaged. Yeah, should I add a bit of more blue or more red or more orange? So it's very important, and it will save you a lot of time and allow you to draw things faster for your future drawings, and it will reduce your rate of being burnt out a lot as well. Why am I saying it so confidently? It's also because I force myself to draw every single day, and there are days that I'm really burnt out as well, because I'm still a normal human being like you. But to keep myself keep drawing every day and keep doing what I do, I have to think of some way to just make my process more interesting, and should I face an issue, I'm still able to continue to process rather than shut down the computer, hide in my blanket, maybe quit drawing, or just say that I have an art block and one whole week not drawing at all. I mean, I used to do that, but slowly I start realizing there are artists that exist out there online that draw every day. I think there was one, if I can find later I will show you, is that he or she, which I don't know, is that they set the rule for themselves that if they stop drawing for one day, they're gonna reset their counter. I have no guts to do that. I haven't reached that level yet. So you can see people are really pushing themselves to the limit. There are such people existing out there that are way more hardworking, way more grinding, way more hustling than me, and I really see them as an example. But like all humans, there will always be some downtime. So how are you gonna get out of that shitty situation? You have to have some kind of formula, like all math problem or science problem. Is that when this happen, how are you gonna tackle? When that happen, how are you gonna tackle? Closing the homework, chucking it into the bag is not gonna get it solved. So gotta start thinking of some ways to keep moving. Thus along what's it called? As the year passed by, I start to realize I found some solutions that work for me. And I'm pretty sure you should work for you as well, because it's not that tough to adapt. Just need to be a bit more stubborn, that's all. So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna block this one out first. Again, gradually, especially dealing with dark colors, do it gradually. There's no need for a sudden jump. Yeah, do it gradually. Even gradually, you feel that there's those sinking points just occur. So make sure to just paint a little and just pull it in. Don't paint the entire thing. But yeah, so this is some of the things that I have to adapt and pick up to just keep moving on. Okay, so I'm just gonna slowly put this on here as well. Again, we are dealing with very dark colors here. Keep it at 3, and later on, once the rest of the parts has been assembled, then we'll come and do the fine tuning. Okay, so we're already just laying the foundation in right now. Nothing more than that. Okay. So now we're gonna paint the pink shoulder pad. I think that's the stomach area as well for the armor, as well as the knee guard. This pink looks sweet. Okay, so we're gonna use this. So we're gonna put this on here. Wait, let me just check the music don't have copyright strike. Okay, there's no copyright strike. Hi Smiley, hi DA Prodigal Zone. What kind of brush do you use for coloring? I use the same brush that I use for line art, as well as coloring and sketching as well. Also, some people layer the hair, the clothes, the skin, etc. How do you stay from going over the lines? I control my pen, and if I don't control it, it just go out of it. What you are seeing right now, even right now you can see that the hair I'm still exceeding out stuff. There's really no issue painting out, because later on you can always clean it up and erase. And I don't do multiple layers. It's one reason due to the file size, and my computer has been about 5 years old, so it's not really that strong anymore. Thus, I cannot overburden it with multiple layers. That's why I force myself to paint on a single layer. It does bring in a lot of disadvantage, because a quick example will be by shifting a color, all the colors shift together. So I pretty much threw away the benefits of Photoshop, which is selective color adjustment. But in a way, it forces me to choose colors properly and with a minimum features enhancement. So this is one of the main reasons why I'm dealing with single layer, as well as the line art is still separate and it's easier for cleaning up later on. I'll still paint outside, you can see from the hair. Yeah, I still do it as well. Do you erase the colors that overflows to other section of the art? Ah, nice question. I do not erase away. Sometimes I actually leave it there when I paint, because I'm painting with 80%. So I'm just going to zoom in just to show you an example. Like over here right now, you can see in this pink area, there's a bit of darker shades, which is not painted intentionally. It's due to the colors from the fizz is spilled into the pink zone, but I'll just leave it there because the drawing is a painting, it's not a photograph. So sometimes I'll leave it a little bit, not all of them. I'll just leave some marks of exceeding here and there, and then overlapping. There's some accident colors, like I call it, because they're not painted intentionally. I'll just put it there, and it sort of gives a very more of a natural vibe. That's the key thing I like to take away when I paint. It's not making everything looking perfect. A bit of spilling here and there, like example the knee pad right now, this from the suit, the armor. I'll just put it there as well. So yeah, but very nice question, very good. Okay, so now do this one here. Okay, and the shoulder pads. Alright, I think we have all, oh yeah, here as well. So we're just going to lay in the pink color first, and we're going to choose a darker color. This one is too dull, so what we're going to do is just choose a brighter color, and slowly put it in. Nope, it's still too dark. When I'm painting the shadings for the shoulders, the elbow pads, I'm not just looking whether the shading looks correct or not. Like the light's coming from above, I'm painting the shades below. This should be a natural. It should not be like too off. But the main thing is the color choice for the shadow harmonizing with the rest of the colors. Because if I were to choose something like this, and same thing, putting at the same area, theory wise there's no issue, because that's where the shadow is supposed to be. But looking at the entire image, it looks very dull. There's no eye-catching area. So for me, the moment I felt that, I would choose a more vibrant, stronger, more contrast color to use as a shadow, and I'll start applying at the exact same area. So this is what I meant by experimenting with colors. Of course, it comes with the knowledge of where shadows will be at, and not added randomly just to achieve a nice result. Because in the long run, it might work for you, maybe the first 3 pieces, 5 pieces of artwork. The moment you hit a roadblock, and without understanding, you will find yourself very depressed to actually continue to draw. So trying to reduce this amount of the luck-based results, and more of the observation that should you choose this color combination, does it look good? If it doesn't, stop, change another color, and try the combination. You don't have to match your favorite artist, but rather, because you have been seeing a lot of different nice artworks, give yourself a scoring system. Do you enjoy your current color combination? If you like it, carry on. If you feel that there's something amiss, but you don't know what is amiss, then stop, change the color. You don't need to know everything, but your gut feeling pretty much knows that it's not right. Choose something else. It might take a while at the start to choose the colors that looks good with each other, but give it some time. Over time you'll get better, and your judgment skills will increase in the future. Okay, so I'm going to choose purple to just further pull down the values. So you can see me choosing colors that are really not the conventional directly going downwards, but rather shifting through the color slider and shifting through the contrast and brightness to just achieve different kind of result. Slightly just block it in by blending a bit. And then you need to place this body armor at the right angle. If not, the shading looks a bit weird. The excess shades give it a bit of light. Okay, so with that, we'll stop at this purple first. And later on, same thing, we'll slowly add in more colors. The rim is gray, so we're going to choose this pinkish gray. So, but for blocking of colors, do not be afraid that your colors spill over to the other section, because we'll be doing the blending and cleaning up later on. So what you need to focus is rather the bigger shapes, the important details. Focus on that first. Like now, if I accidentally move into the hair, if I can undo, I undo. If I didn't notice that it's slightly eating into the hair, it's okay. Doesn't really matter. Right, then we have this here. Oh, there's a bit of silver down here as well. So that's the tip. Okay, and then I'm gonna choose a darker color. Moving down the slider. Start painting the sides. Just do things gradually, don't do a sudden big drop, just gradually. Sometimes it looks good. Sometimes if it feels as if it's still very weak, then yeah, move down even more gradually and choose another color. Okay. Oh, over here. Then now we're gonna add in the rope color, which is red. Can we use this? It looks very similar to the pink, so we just increase it more. Okay, maybe we can try this one. Into this section here, same thing. So we have it, the red, then we're just gonna add in some shadows by the side. I'm gonna drink some water first. Remember to save your canvas, forget to save. Yeah, remember to save your canvas. Okay, so let me just do some quick checks, make sure I don't miss anything here. Okay. Okay, let's carry on. So now we're gonna put in a bit of the shadings. Same thing, we're just blocking out the usual places that the shadows will be casted on. Then again, gradually moving down. Don't do a huge drop. So gradually, especially if you are new to digital painting and you do not know what is a nice combination for the darker colors, the mid colors, and the bright colors. Always transit gradually. Then at least if there's any mistake, you know that okay, this is a bit too much or too little, rather than a huge drop. You don't even know whether you add or minus. Okay, just pushing in the colors. Okay, and then same thing, just move it down a bit. I'm going into the purple area here. Oh, the sword here is the dark color. Okay. Okay, so we have that. Let me just. Okay. We're gonna do the boomerang, which is something like a milky color. I'm gonna move down. Gonna choose. Oops. Move down here, going into the reddish zone. Oops, wrong one. I think I just chose pink. Okay, never mind. I think this is a good color. Okay, I'm gonna ignore the brown bandage around it first. Just really focusing on the milky color boomerang first. Same thing, blocking out the colors. Yeah, the areas that needs to be shaded first. Okay, after that again, gradually going down. Side, so it sort of pops the drawing out. And then same thing, move down gradually, and then slowly, like this kind of the bandage area, can just add a bit of shadow around it to further pop it up. Same thing, we're not zooming in, we're doing no form of zooming into the drawing, always maintaining it at a full view to see if the color combinations and the shadows, do they look as if they're together, are they clashing with one another. That's the main thing, the takeaway that we should have. Okay, so it looks good. We're gonna move on to the brown bandage. It's a bit brownish. I don't need to be too brown. I think I could afford to just play and make it brighter slightly. It looks too dark. Okay, I think I can accept this. Okay, yeah. So a good example will be, for instance, let me show you first. Okay, so I'm going to show you a classic example of what do I mean by color not harmonizing. So I'm gonna use this brown because I feel that this brown is harmonizing with the overall color palette. Okay. Now I'm gonna duplicate this, and I'm gonna use this brown here. Okay. There's nothing wrong with using the reference colors, but there is many things wrong if you use the reference colors for only a particular area. So this is something I want to show you. I want you all to understand, because the moment you understand this concept, the moment you understand why your colors don't look right, it will save you a lot of emotion, what is it called, expenses, or just draining your emotion. Why do I say that is, sometimes when we color and it doesn't look good, you keep retrying and retrying and retrying, and along the way, usually you find yourself just keep getting unsatisfied with your own drawings, and you don't understand why. Most of the case, it's what I'm demonstrating over here. This case that you're looking at right now, I'm painting the hair, the skin, the armor with my understanding, and for some reason I decided to color pick the reference colors and put it into my color palette. The language, why is it so dark? Everything, so many things going on behind, and it just doesn't fit. That's why when you paint, the colors doesn't match with each other. Same thing for you. Maybe you're painting something, not necessarily that your reference is like a fan art that you're doing, but rather maybe you're painting an apple and you take a red balloon, for instance, as a red color reference, and so you're painting your apple and you're hitting some parts that you need more red, so you choose an apple and you just decided to just use a reference red and just color pick and put it. It's a different environment. You're putting the colors in a different environment, a different situation. That's why the color doesn't look soothing and harmonized. That's why I keep emphasizing harmonized colors, harmonized colors. Now this color here, on the other hand, like this is the reference one, you can see it's really down here, and mine is really up here. Now the question will be, but it's not the same as a reference. Yes, it's not the same as a reference. The whole point of drawing from the very start is we are not drawing exactly the same as a reference. The whole point is extracting the vibe and the essence of the reference and put it into your drawing with your understanding. As of now, every drawing has a different level of understanding. Every drawing, why the colors are working and looking good, it's because the artist, the creator, understood what was going on, and that's why they put in those colors. Beginner's mistake is just color picking, and when they start painting, they realize that the colors are either too dark or too uncontrollable, and the whole painting just collapses by itself. Unless you trace exactly, and wherever the shades is supposed to be, you put exactly the same, of course you won't go wrong. But if you're doing a chibi and you're color picking all the colors, it might still feel weird. Yes, so this is one thing why I strongly disagree on you color picking and assisting, is because you end up just grabbing others people's knowledge without any proper understanding and just applying it. It will not help you in the long run, but rather, if you can, maybe your colors doesn't look as nice, maybe even after the whole drawing your colors still don't look as nice, but I can be very sure to tell you that your colors are one family. Your colors is picked through your understanding, and over time your judgment will be stronger because you're always training it, and the moment you get stronger, that will be the day that all your colors looks extremely nice and very vibrant. But you have to go through the phase of just keep falling, maybe too dark, too dull, too boring, especially this one, too boring. There isn't any eye-triggering visuals feel to it. So this is a phase that you have to go through, and it's perfectly normal if you never color pick. Yeah, just this is the main thing I want to tell you in this process. Especially using this classic reference is really good, because you might not feel it if I didn't just extract out this part. You might just feel, this painting looks this reference looks very bright. How come when I color pick, the color looks so dark? It is that dark. It's because of the other colors are compensating. That's why the colors it doesn't look as dark on the reference. So that's why I mentioned is the colors are really affected by their surrounding colors. This is the key thing. Okay, so something that you must always keep in mind, always understand, and it can really save you a lot of time. Okay, so we're gonna set this brown here. I can choose something darker. And then I'm gonna put it down. Okay, let me just look at the time chat. Oh, let's see. Okay, I love your style of eyes, JR. Can you explain how you add gloss but in your matte style? Oh, okay, can. Later I'll take note on the eye area. Yeah, thank you very much for the belt color. Can you talk about your outline color? I want to have creamy color, but I tend to pick a dark black. Can you help me pick the right outline color? Okay, can. I understand the issues with the color outline. Can. I'll take note on the eye area when I'm painting later on, as well as choosing colors for the outline as well. Okay, can. No problem. Okay, there's no questions, and then we'll carry on. Okay, can. Okay. Right, so we're gonna start putting in the colors here. As well. Right, then now same thing, gonna add a darker color, putting in more red. Start painting, bring it downwards here. Same thing here as well. Once we've done that, we're gonna paint the yellow. So for yellow, I know a particular sweet spot, which is somewhat here. I like this yellow a lot because it's very vibrant. It doesn't really look very vibrant here. Oh yeah, can. Yellow stuff. It still does. Okay. Just put in the flats. Okay. And a bit of a shade of orange, just to show the shading. I tend to use orange as a darker color for yellow. I thought it just felt really nice using it. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the eyes, and Sango's eyes looks brown, so I'm gonna use the brown from maybe here. And for me, when I paint eyes, I know that there are a lot of tutorials online that are very complicated and they look very glossy and shiny. I like those eyes. I tried, but I can't paint. I don't understand. So I did a very simple thing. First, I put in the flats, which is brown. Next, I will choose a darker color and a desaturate side of things, because if this is saturated, usually the right hand side is saturated, and these are the desaturated colors. So I will choose a desaturated, means moving slanted, to a darker area. Same thing, I'll just slide it a bit so it doesn't come from the same family. Okay, put it in, and then slowly, maybe just a little, try to give it a blend. Okay, now we have the mid-tone and the dark tone. Now for the highlights. So this, I will choose something bright, and I'll push out the slider. Maybe I'll do something like this. If it doesn't, okay, now I paint the eye. Something's felt amiss. So what do? I choose the opposite, means opposite of red is blue. So maybe I'll choose a turquoise color and try it out. Oh, okay, now it feels very eye triggering. There's something, you know, we always say, oh, I feel it, the kind that you feel something, but what is it, you're not really sure. So I think this works. Okay, so just gonna place it down here, and with that, again, I push it up. Now this one already based on your own experimentation. My turquoise usually I can afford to go with a green, lime green. If it's a bit too much, then maybe I just put a slight dot here. If not, I'll just leave it at ease. And with that, that's pretty much the basic foundation for eyes. I choose a mid-tone, a desaturated dark tone, and an opposite spectrum color for the highlight. That's it. There's no fancy blending or everything else. So I try to keep it maybe 3 to 4 colors, play around as I go along. So that's for the eye part. Now we're gonna just make the cheek area here to be more saturated. Okay. And some red in the eye area here, so it doesn't look that bland, as well as the red bead. So that's pretty much the basic setup, the color blocking for Sango. And yeah, I'm gonna take a snapshot of this. Save as, working progress 5. Close. So let me just gonna upload it as usual. My Hello Panda. Oh, here is my dinner. I haven't eaten my dinner. Here, kind of, you're gonna find the way I type things. Yeah, there we go. balloon emoji. Balloon emoji. Alive now. Color face 1. Take away the HTTP, doesn't really look nice. Post this on here together with this. Going to continue from this thread here. To the out. Okay. Oops. Right, so now I'm gonna upload to Insta. So my one day kind of stuck. Okay. Copy the text from Facebook. So that's color face 1. Okay. OSMT over here. Okay. What's the hardest thing about being a professional artist? I wouldn't consider myself professional artist because being a real professional artist is able to suppress your emotion. Even if you don't like a particular artwork, you can finish it on time. For me, I would say myself as a hobbyist because I draw very fast if I like the subject matter, and if someone else asks me to draw things that I don't understand or I don't like, I draw very slowly and I procrastinate a lot, even till today. So that's one of the main reasons why I don't open commissions, because I know I have this issue. But I have to say, the hardest thing for me as an artist who draw on a daily basis is drawing on a daily basis. Means every day one drawing after the other. When I finish one drawing, I don't get satisfied. I mean, I feel happy. I know I accomplished a drawing, but I know I have to move on. I don't stay happy keep looking at Instagram, see whether is there any likes, is there any comments. I don't log into DeviantArt to see if there's anyone sharing. I used to do that, and I found that I was spending more time looking on social media than actually practicing my craft. So it definitely takes some time to let me get used to the grinding, and get used to this way of doing things. So it's very hard even till today, especially when you don't feel like drawing, especially when there are new PC games and mobile games coming out, and you go in and then you draw, and people are playing, like, shit. So this is one thing. Okay, let me take a look at Smiley one. Alright, I won't comment on anything like good or bad or anything. I'll just look at it and see if is it like a whole package, is it Smiley's art, that kind. So definitely Smiley, same thing. Your stuff is progressing very steadily. I think you yourself can feel this. There's a climb in your progress if you compare your first and your second one. Your color control, the choice of colors, despite it's very gradual as compared to a previous one, it's not as striking or very eye triggering, but I can feel that you are coloring with more understanding now. So the more you paint, you will unlock more colors, features, you understand colors even better, and in due time you will naturally improve. So very nice, keep it up. You're definitely improving. Even, okay, here's the main thing, even if you feel you are not improving, I can tell you for sure, you are drawing 10 drawings, 5 drawings, 3 drawings, no matter how many drawings, so long you are drawing, you're definitely improving, even if you don't feel you're improving. So this is one thing you have to tell yourself, or rather just keep it at the back of your head. Nothing to be proud of, but at least something to just keep yourself being motivated when drawing. Okay, so good stuff here, very good. Just give it a thumbs up. Good stuff. Okay, so I think we'll go with this one. Let me just eat a bit more Hello Panda, and we will proceed to the blending. Okay. Alright, let's begin. Let's carry on blending. So, if you are painting, this is just for own personal, just to view the progress and looking at your own, how much blending are you putting into your drawing. I will recommend you to just duplicate a layer. So this is the non-blended layer, and we duplicate it and we'll be blending on this layer up here. So at least when you on and off the layer, you can see how much of a difference have you made. The key takeaway here is putting in a lot of time doesn't mean you blend a lot. Putting in very little time doesn't mean you blend very little. It's more on how much you understand your colors, how far are you willing to stretch the colors to just push it and just do the transition. And how well you understand your brush. Now this is very important, because the more you understand your brush, it means it's the same thing like the more you understand your tablet, the more you understand your app, the more you understand your tools in general, your speed will increase, your limitations will rise, you unlock new skills, you unlock new move sets to change and colors and combinations. It's really like a game. So the more you understand your tools, you find yourself the amount of restrictions will be less and less. Okay, so use this as a gauge, and every drawing you keep this 2 layers just to view how much of a progress. Maybe this one the hair didn't blend as much. Okay, mental note. Next one, put more effort in the hair. Next one, the hair is done properly. Oops, the legs doesn't look as blended as much. Okay, move on to the third one. Now the hair, the legs. So every drawing will be actually some sort of like a scoring system that you will notice where to put the effort in your future drawings as well. So especially you're doing this as a hobby, there's no teacher, lecturer penalizing you and stuff, so it's even harder to improve. So you have to use your own progress as a gauge on what am I lacking, where should I put my time in, am I overlooking some things, should I take a step back and slow things down. So you have to do these kind of things to self-improve, train yourself to look at your own mistakes and stuff like that. Yeah, because sometimes you know, like when you put online, if someone gonna say you, the impression is very hard to accept, but most of the time it's usually true, because they can see it very clearly as they are not staring it for 5 hours or 6 hours, and they have no emotion attached to the drawing, you see. So usually when they say something which is right, but we as an artist, sometimes it's very hard to accept it immediately. So what should you do? Start admitting your own mistake before people start finding it. Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna go in here, set a new window, and put it up here. Okay. Now I'm gonna start blending. So Windows 56. Gradually, same thing, I always keep a full view by the side to ensure that I'm not over blending or blending too little. And the key takeaway here is when you are blending an area, don't be too tight down. So the moment your colors isn't that harsh or like patches anymore, you move on to the other areas. Even maybe you look like, for example, I know something looks weird with my blended, it feels very boring here, but it's okay. I move on, I blend the other area first. Like I mentioned, again, the Allen key method, the furniture, how you build your furniture, you make sure everything progress together. You don't tie down one leg and then you try to tie down the other. you end up having a very wobbly furniture. Same thing for drawing. You don't overly focus on one strand of hair or one block of hair, but rather just soften the look on every part of the hair first, and then later we'll take a step back and we'll see where need more support, where need to add, where need to subtract. Then we slowly do our refinement. So remember to save a file as well. I forget to save, I just remember. I was like thinking checklist in my head, like what am I missing? I think I forget to save some stuff. Yeah, remember to save a file. Yeah, so just moving, you see, I'm moving from left to right. I'm not doing this, painting the eyebrow, looking at the overall. Shit, I felt here I need more stuff, and then back, forth. No, you don't do that. You keep moving, and even if you know that you need to move back, unless it's a major thing, if it's a slight thing, a hunch that it could be better, we'll deal with it later on. Okay, so just blending it. Yeah, rotate your canvas if you need to, so that your the brush strokes will be more natural when you are painting. Slowly just blending this out. Again, for those who just joined the live stream because of the whether it's a social media post or you just finished your dinner, welcome. And if you have any questions, you are new to drawing, or someone recommend you to come and check this channel out, don't be afraid to ask any questions. If I can answer, I will do my best to answer. If I can't, I'll let you know that I am unable to answer. But most importantly, we'll be asked questions if there is any, because if I could give you some tips to just solve an issue, maybe you could save just maybe 5 to 10 minutes of your drawing process. Why not? Okay, so we're gonna add this in. I'll blend this one here as well. See, there's a spilling of the brown, so now I'll just clean some stuff up. Okay, so ribbon here as well. So during this phase, I very seldom will turn on the color palette to choose more colors, unless necessarily like adding more shadows or more highlights. If not, the blocked out shadows and highlights should be enough to blend with one another, because that's the main point of the blocking phase, which is the phase 1. If you find yourself still picking colors and really putting it out, it means that you should not zoom in. You should stop, zoom back out 100%, and continue to block your colors in. If not, you keep finding yourself repeating, and then you're stuck in this cycle of changing, and getting further and further away from the completion, and before you know it, you get really burnt out as well. Because the more you edit, even though the drawing is not progressing, you are depleting your energy level. We are, unlike game, there's a health bar, but we do have a health bar, an energy bar that's quite invincible, and everyone is different. And the more time you spend painting, the more drained and emotionally drained, not physically, but just emotionally drained, because of the errors, the no answers questions. The more you have that, the more drained you will be. So we try to avoid such situation at all costs, because it's really a drawing killer. Okay. Put in this one as well. Sometimes I like to put this kind of weird shape, like it doesn't make sense, but I think it's cute, so why not? That kind of thoughts. That's my thought process. At the end of the day, so long it looks cute, I'll go with it. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on here. Oh wow, okay. Give it a moment. Just stretch my back a bit. It's been oh my goodness, it's been an hour and 30 minutes. Whew, time flies. Just a heads up, I think we're gonna pin till maybe 10:30. Yeah, so those who can't stick around, the video will be available on YouTube for you to look through. Okay, give me a minute. I should start cutting my nails. Oh, I ran out of Hello Panda. Alright, drink water then. Carry on. Okay, so we got the hair done, got this one done, gonna paint the face. Oops. Really just blending and pushing in the colors. Okay, then same thing here. Pink vibe. Slowly just blending these parts here. You find me more, maybe I'll just blend and I'll stop talking. really become like a autopilot mode. That's really just picking the colors and just smoothing things out. Well, there's definitely a lot of alternate pressing going on, so keep pressing the Alt key. Doesn't look nice, so we're gonna change it there. Paint this red sphere. It's too shiny. I think one will be more than enough. Okay. Continue to blend. Continue to blend the boomerang. So I'll be touching on the choice, like at least some kind of the thought process when choosing colors for the line art later on. In the meantime, if you have any questions that maybe it's not in the blending phase, it's in the color blocking phase, and currently you are doing that, and you have any questions, you may ask. You don't have to only ask questions that are related to my current progress. Do ask questions if you have any that is with your current progress and not mine. Means that if you are in the sketching phase, line art phase, whichever, you can feel free to ask as well. And later on, time to time, I'll read through the comments. If there's any, I'll reply to you. So, like for example, there's the brown is spilling over, but I'm cool with that. I'll just keep it as is. Okay, the hand here as well. Pink color. So I have to say, as much as theory-wise for the painting kind of things, the more you paint, the more rules you want to break, I guess. That's why they usually say you need to break the rules if you know the rules. Because if you know the rules of doing things, means that the 1, 2, 3, what are needed, what are not needed. And when you have done enough, naturally you kind of be maybe used to it, or you want something more exciting. Then with the knowledge, you will slowly try to break out from that box. And everyone breaks differently, everyone sees things differently. So I guess that's where the so-called style and the uniqueness starts to come out. So it's quite interesting. like for me, I know the rules, which is like the highlight, the mid-tone and the dark tone, and I've been sticking to the very traditional route of choosing it just downwards the slider. And I know something was amiss. Like I see this on Twitter, on DeviantArt, the colors look so vibrant, but me on the other hand, following those manga tutorial books, following YouTube tutorials, the very basic ones, I felt something was amiss. Like I'm not sure what it was, but just felt something wasn't right. I don't feel excited. Yeah, that's a keyword. Like, I'm not excited with my own drawings. I felt like I'm doing math or English or physics, I guess. So then after that, I started to realize that I could actually play around, create more interesting stuff, and before I know it, I've been anyhow throwing colors here and there. Not too outrageously, but at least not the traditional way of just moving down the slider. Okay. Right, so we're gonna start painting here as well. Then slowly pulling out the colors. So I can't emphasize enough that how important it is to enjoy your drawing. I cannot emphasize enough that whatever you see that I'm doing in real time is through years of practice. I didn't reach this level by drawing 2 chibis. I didn't reach this speed by doing 10 chibis. I did this for 12 years. I've drawn 1,000 over chibis. That's why I can give a tutorial within 2 hours. There's some progress. I'm not rushing things. You don't see me erasing, undoing, panicking, I guess. It's because I've been through that. I'm not born to understand colors. I have been through my fair share of issues, and I know you might be facing some if you're new. I'll do my best to really simplify things for you and try to use those known daily life items analogy to just give you a better understanding. But the key takeaway will be whatever you're seeing online right now in this stream is through many years of practice. So I don't expect you to be this fast tomorrow. Actually, I don't want you to be this fast tomorrow. That makes me like a really lousy artist. But jokes aside, it definitely needs some time to get used to it. Either going through painting super saturated drawings, or going through painting very desaturated drawings, or struggling with drawing the perfect eye that looks cute, or trying to understand line weight because all your lines look as if they are the same thickness. Been through that. But if you can get through those issues, then you will find the right amount for you, which your eyes can accept. Then that's where you can start creating at a very fast pace. Because whatever I'm telling you right now is my formula, is things that is very comfortable with my characteristic. I enjoy vibrant colors. I don't like to do drawings that are always the same. That's why I'm not a comic artist or manga artist, but rather just an illustrator who draw whatever I like. Today, tomorrow might just change. I understand what keeps me moving. I understand how to trick myself in continue to draw even when I don't want to draw. It's literally tricking yourself, as silly as it sounds, but yeah. So back to you. Do you understand yourself? Do you understand your limitation? Then if you don't, then you have to keep drawing, keep fumbling here and there, and over time you understand all these answers. And also the key takeaway will be that you are definitely improving if you have been following the lessons, and if you haven't been following the lessons and still drawing maybe something else that's not chibi, you're also improving. Okay, so now we have all this down here. So really just blending all this stuff. So you see that it's very subtle what's going on, but if I were to turn on and off, you can see the difference on the left side. So this is what I meant by sometimes blending, it might be not, it won't look as significant if you just zoom in. It looks significant when you're blocking out the colors because everything is empty, and then no matter what you put in, it looks like as if you're making a huge difference. When it comes to blending, when all the colors are supposed to be there are already in their positions, it's just a bit of slight arrangement is needed. Sometimes when you just keep blending, it doesn't look as if there's things going on. Duplicate your layer. Turn on and off to just trick your brain that, hey, I'm doing a lot of things, be satisfied, move on. I'm not doing nothing, there is progress, move on. So this is what I meant by tricking your brain rather than falling into the trap of, I think it's not enough, let's blend more. I think this area isn't vibrant enough, let's add more. No, you keep moving on, and only every single part has been cleared, then you decide where you want to focus again. Okay, so okay, then you go here, then you go blend this part. Oh, I never do the eyes. Later I gotta do the eyes. Okay. Right. like that. I'm gonna do this little parts here as well. Can just paint this one pure white, so it's very obvious. Same thing for all these the white areas. I'm just gonna leave it as is full white. For the rest, there's a slight gradient. There's a bit of shading in them. Remember to save your file. These are accident colors. I'm gonna use it because it looks really nice. Same thing here, I'm gonna apply some of the pink color. Remember to save. Okay, let me just do a check here. Hi Ice Ninja, do you ever force yourself to be fast when drawing and painting? I force myself to finish at least in 1 day or 2 days, at most 2 days. I do not allow myself to take 1 week to finish a canvas, a drawing, because if I take anything more than 1 day, the enthusiasm, the motivation to finish it drops drastically, and usually the second day I'm like, okay, whatever, just finish up, that kind. So it has happened many times, and I didn't really like it. So I would either sit down, drink as maybe 2 cups, 3 cups of coffee if I'm very tired, and just really push it to its finish line and conclude it. Yeah, because I know the second day effort is really very shitty. So yes, I do force myself to be fast. Yes. Okay. Da Prodigal Zone, what are your pixel settings for your canvas? Okay, over here in Singapore, It's by and we go by this A3. So I'm not sure in your country do you use the same metrics. I think it's called metrics, yeah. But I usually do it in poster size if it's easier to understand. So maybe I can do this in pixels. Yeah, okay, I think this is more unified. So it's like 3500 pixels by about 4.9 pixels in height and 300 dpi. The most important thing is 300 dpi. Yeah. Okay, so let me just okay, 6 here. So good here. Okay, later I should go in the let me look at it through the phone for that. Okay, Takumi, that's cute. So cute. Okay, right. Okay, just give me a minute lah. Carry on. So we continue to blend this part. Just blend it through. This is really just for fun, so ignore that for now. Maybe for this part here, the lines, I'm just gonna add a bit of shadows so it doesn't look that bland. Bit of oops, just a bit of shading. Okay, so I'm gonna blend this. Again, remember to save your canvas. So, oh yeah, okay. Like just now, Ice Ninja asked whether do I force myself to paint quickly. So if you sometimes notice, like during my live stream, the live stream is going on, but the canvas, the brush isn't moving. Yeah, those are the times that I'm really tired, but I know I can't end the stream unless I really have no choice. Maybe is it due to running errands, or I don't know, maybe just family matters and stuff. But I try to keep that stream on, so if I'm really tired, be it take a nap, go down to the coffee shop to buy a cup of coffee, etc. I make sure that I try to get myself the motivation level back up, energy level back up, and carry on, because I'm very clear with myself that the moment I stop, and the next day, which is going to be part 2 or part 3 or part 4 and so on and so forth, the back of my head is really, I just want to get it done. I just want to get it. I'm not enjoying it anymore already. So yeah, the first 24 hours in drawing is really, really important to me. And to me, the moment when I wake up, so this is my routine really. So the moment I get out of bed, whether is it looking through Facebook, Twitter and whatever, so the moment I get up, brush my teeth, the next thing is turn on the computer and start drawing, because I don't have any issues. I'm up, the day is great, my mind is fresh, my eyes is rested, my emotions are stable, because it's like, you know, like playing Sims. So usually your character, when they rest, finish, yeah, every bar is green color, you know, it's not in the red zone. So same thing, everything is in the green zone, it's all good and stuff. So yeah, get the sketch up, get the line art out, blocking the colors. Sketching is usually the hardest part because that's the very, very foundation of the character. So I try to do my art in the morning, and blending things like this, which is totally majorly in the autopilot section of the spectrum. There's really not much thought process needed. I don't mind doing it at night, because at night is usually you've been through the whole day, you're tired from going out, you have issues, you have problems that you need to be solved. So I like to place, if anything, blending, I'll put it at night. If I can't finish, I know I can't finish every day, I'm gonna be like have a little bit of time, then yeah, I'll just do sketches in the morning and I'll break it down and I'll just do blending. Yeah, so this is how that's why I say trick yourself in working and drawing at the most unfavorable situation. What is art block? Well, art block is emotionally exhausted, tired situation which no matter what you create, you are sick of it. Well, how to get out? Many people have many ways: eating, drinking, playing games and stuff, but those are not drawing. Some say just keep drawing, which is also true. So to me, if I have an art block, if I'm drawing characters, then I'll do Monster Hunter, like the one I did. Draw some derpy faces characters, Chicken and Finn, Powerpuff Girls and stuff, I guess. Yeah, so pretty much do things that you don't normally draw. Keep the engine moving. Don't turn off, never turn off the engine. Just keep it running. Maybe it's slower now, but keep it going. Yeah, then yeah, that's the key to me in creating stuff non-stop. I don't give myself the excuse that today is not the day. Today is the day. Just that not the day to draw chibi, that's all. It's still a day to draw. Okay, so now we're gonna blend the eyes. You can see that I'm not really putting any new colors in, just smudging, just trying to get the shape nice, because if not it looks like very creepy eye. I just want to do it right. And you might ask, the colors, when they zoom in, they're not really blended. Now, when I'm drawing, at the back of my head, usually, I know that, okay, I'm gonna make it into maybe a sticker, or it's chibi, it's gonna be posted on people's Instagram. People are not really gonna zoom in, to be honest. So what's the real size when it looks on a phone? well, maybe kind of on the left side now, which is like a real scale 1:1 on someone's Instagram phone. Maybe a bit bigger if it's using a Samsung Note or an iPhone Plus. But that's about it. So there's really no reason for you to zoom in all the way to this 200% or 300% to paint and blend it so well, so perfect, when the final product will not be put up at such a high resolution or a big scale. If you are drawing for a graduation show for a company that's gonna print out on a billboard, okay, fine, please blend it well. But if you're doing it on a casual basis, you're learning, you want to get things done quickly, but still with effort, not rushing, you don't have to go all the way to 300% because you're really just exhausting yourself and the results is not very significant. So you want to put in a decent amount of time and effort in your painting where the results looks just right. So what I would suggest is, if you're doing on the same scale as me, A3 size, 66%, not even 100%, is more than enough. If you can do it at 50%, even better, of course. If you can do it as an overall view, that will be even better. So these are some things that how I push things out fast. Try to optimize my drawing process. Every day I'm tweaking it bit by bit, exploring different settings, exploring different outcome. Even though it's really everyday drawing chibi, but on the back end, I'm always trying to find a bit of workflow. Just shaving 1 minute, I'm also very happy. I'm not talking about 10 minutes, an hour and stuff, just 1 minute, I'm more than happy too. Because shaving 1 minute means I don't have to spend 1 minute, I can maybe play games, watch an anime for 1 minute, I guess. Okay, well, it's not really good. But yeah, that's roughly the point. Okay, so now we're gonna just clean it up a bit. I'm gonna leave this turquoise color here. I think that's just enough. It's not too much, not too little. Okay, so that's it for the blending. Now I'm gonna turn on and off to show you the difference. On, off, on, off. Okay, it's not too much of a difference, but if I'm gonna do it quickly, you can really see the difference. Okay, so now same thing, I'm gonna take a snapshot, and later on, we've definitely exceeded the time. 9:30. After the snapshot, after the uploading, we'll be doing the lineup coloring, and I'll be talking about the process of choosing the colors. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, new, choose there, save as, work in progress 6, let's close, JPEG, color 2, save, color 2 together with work in progress 6. Oh, okay. Alright. Wow. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm gonna read it in a bit. Detail aspect. Okay, give me a minute lah. Let's add a photo here. Okay, so put it up first. Same thing. Oh, my balloon. Maybe I should open the Instagram. Okay, never mind. Next time. Balloon emoji. Color face 2. Same thing, going down to the Instagram here and gonna grab it. See. Phase 2. Let me just look out for anything here first. Okay, let me check. Hi, it's Acute on Twitch, and alright, let's look at the questions. Okay, nice, thanks, that helps for print. I'm assuming you convert to CMYK to print. Yes, I convert my files to CMYK when I'm sending it to print, and I can see that you're using 2 layers for coloring. Can you explain why? Okay, can. We'll type here. So DA the 2 layers of coloring. One was for the blocking. 2 was just do. Oh, you're listening now? Oh, okay, can. Alright. So the main reason why I'm using 2 layers to do, actually I can do it in 1 layer, but because I'm live streaming and also for my reference, I duplicate it and I blend it on this layer, so when I turn on and off I can see the difference, and it's also a way for me to immediately notice if did I miss any place that they stay the same when I turn on and off. It's like really like checking my own drawing. So if everything looks okay, then okay, cool. Yeah, so it's really just a duplicate layer. There's nothing different except the blending among these 2 layers. Okay. Smiley asks, is there a reason for the weird shape in the hair on the right side? Ah, okay. So this weird shape here, there is no logic over here. Let me show you an example. So if I were to do this and follow the traditional way on really just doing this, going downwards, and this. Okay, maybe just do this one. Now I'm going to turn on and off. This is visually correct. This is technically correct, technically wrong, visually normal, visually weird. So it's really your personal preference that to what extent are you willing to bend this rule. I'm still following the shadow area, but I'm bending the rule by extending out the middle portion to achieve a weird shape. It's like a jigsaw puzzle shape. It should not be there. Having too much will be totally off. So this is really based on mileage. There is no right or wrong, and it's really how far can you pull your rubber band before it snaps. Because if it snaps, it means that you put it too much and people just find it weird and it's very distracting. But if you put it just enough, it's there, it's very subtle. People will still notice the face first, they won't really pay attention to there, but it's there, that kind of thing. So yeah, so that's my answer for your question on why is there a weird shape in the hair area. I hope this is the right side here, if we are speaking on the same thing. Okay, cool. Okay, so question number 2 for DA Prodigal. For the eyes, I'm assuming the circles are the iris and the pupil. You do not paint the white of the eye. Okay, so for the white of the eye, let's see here. Okay, the white part will be here. Same thing, duplicate just in case. Make sure I'm on the brush. Okay, so this is the usual white. We call it the eye white. I don't draw the pupil because actually there's really no because for this one. I'm just trying to think of something. You can draw the pupil like this. Yeah, it'll be there. But my answer will be, it just felt normal. I don't know. I don't find a connection to this pupil. Thus, I remove it away. As for the turquoise color, the tail color here, you can say it is the pupil, and I'm really just playing with it, and it gives the vibe that it's looking maybe towards the down angle here, kind of. So the eye part is definitely theoretically wrong, but visually it's just interesting. Yeah. Same thing for the eye white. I don't use total black. I don't use total white. I don't use these two extreme colors because the moment when I put it in, our eyes just immediately get attracted to the extreme colors, which is the white for now. So I just decided to, might as well just leave it as it is. And at first it was really just experimenting. The more I draw, the more I enjoy it as not painting the eye white. So yes, this is my explanation. I'm really struggling to find answers to explain the way I do things, but I'm very happy that you asked, because these are the questions that are puzzling and things that I'm doing it naturally. I didn't really put too much thought because I've been doing it again and again from chibi to chibi. I'm really just keep applying this formula. So if you see anything that you don't understand and it's very weird or just interesting, please ask and I'll try to explain my thought process. Again, these are my way of handling things. It might work for your art when you're drawing, it might not, because if you're using white as a background, as your canvas, then it won't look weird. And if you're using white for other parts of the drawing, putting my eye white definitely won't attract the attention because it's spread equally. For me, because I'm not using the white or the extreme, the total black color, by putting those kind of colors into the drawing, it immediately our attention just get, it's like a black hole, it just get absorbed into that particular location immediately, and you stop paying attention to the rest of the parts. So yeah, but very nice questions. I enjoy answering these two questions. Okay, Ken. Yeah, sometimes I put, sometimes I don't. It's really just like linking with your drawing. It is the illustration speaking to you kind of thing. If it is, feel free to do that. Yeah. I think the right leg is longer than the other one. Did I wrong? Explain for me, please. Ken. Okay, wait. Yes. The right leg is indeed longer. So if I were to do this, and this one is over here, let me just do the knee joint. This is over here. Make a new layer. I love answering these kind of questions. And this one is from here to here. So if I were to rotate it and put side by side, yeah, so it's definitely longer. Yes. So this is exactly what I meant by breaking the rules. I did it intentionally because number one, I want the knee to look on the same level and I want them to touch the floor, but it's impossible. There's no way you can bend your leg and still touch the floor and have the knee at the same place. It just doesn't make sense. So you know what? Heck care. So just do it. and also I'm really trying to get away all these things. Is people usually pay attention to the face. They don't really bother with the tiny face. I mean, if the eyes is one big, one small, I can tell you for sure, out of 10, 8 people are gonna say that, hey, the face looks weird. But if it's the leg, out of 10 people, probably 2, maybe 3, and I can make do with that. Kind of. So that's the thought process on why did I draw one leg longer and one leg shorter. Okay. Alright. I know you draw side all the time, but if you were to draw someone looking straight, can you do a quick sketch how the cheeks will look? Actually, I have no idea how the cheeks will look. Let me try. But I don't... Okay. It's gonna look weird, I tell you, because things... Same thing, if you never practice, including myself, if I didn't practice, it will not be the same. It's gonna look weird. Yes. Okay, so same thing, I'll do the face first. It's gonna go by the sideways. I would say this is not the cutest. There must be even cuter ones, but you have to find. You can see that it looks really different from my side view, because this face is probably my 5 years ago standard. I never draw any frontal face for like 5 years, and I always avoid frontal faces. I mean, it looks cute, but it's still not the best. It's definitely not the best. Yeah, but just a rough one. Yeah, so it's sideways, just extra cheeks, and over here you can add a little chin if you want to. But that's pretty much it. But the moment of truth, flip. Oh, okay, not too bad. Okay, I thought it would totally collapse. But yeah, that's about it for the frontal face. Wait, did I put on Insta story? Yeah. No problem, but same thing, it applies to me as well. Because I never draw frontal faces for the past 5 years. Even if I keep drawing sideways for 5 years, my frontal faces will not improve. Even no matter what you draw, so long if you're not touching the subject matter, maybe yes, it can help you a bit, but that skill probably will increase maybe 5%, 10%. So practice really makes perfect. So if you really are doing frontal faces, keep drawing. You will be better over time. Like me, avoiding frontal faces, I just want to do 3/4 view. Along the way, the more I draw, my eyes will be adept and I will start finding new formulas. So same thing for you. Frontal faces, if you're not satisfied, don't worry. Draw. 100, cannot. 150, 200, 300, 1000. You're definitely gonna hit this magical formula, the line and everything, and it's gonna look nice. But you have to keep throwing a lot of time inside, and don't rush. Yes, don't rush. Okay. Let's see, did I put the blending? Oh yeah, there's a blending one. Okay. Okie dokie. Alright, we move into our final segment and it's about 10. And I've run out of Hello Panda. Let me just drink some water first. But nice questions. I really enjoy answering your questions because these are real questions, okay? You are not asking questions that don't make sense. These were the questions that I have when I was a student, when looking at my favorite artists or my lecturers that I don't understand what they are doing. Because we are in a physical class, I was really shy and I really regretted that part. If there was online class, I'd probably be bombing the whole session of questions. Why are you doing this? Why do you set this? Why do you do that? Because there's a lot of questions and there's very little answers. And most of the time the answers is keep drawing, keep doing and stuff like that. That fact haven't changed. Keep drawing, keep grinding. But one thing is, if I can explain in very simple terms, very relatable terms, the keyword here is very relatable to you. Try to put it as simple as possible without any professional words and stuff. And if you can understand, it will really save you a lot of time. And you don't have to go like, why is it not right? Why is it not right? That kind of situation. Alright, so we are going to move on to the lineup. So same thing here, I'm gonna duplicate a new layer and I'm gonna turn off the I'm gonna duplicate the lineup layer so that I can on and off to show you the difference on colored lineup and non-colored lineup. Okay, and I'm gonna just delete away this one, which is the sample early on. Okay, can. Alright, so let's begin. So same thing, I usually start off with the hair, and the number one thing is always choose the color for the liner that is slightly darker than the darkest color. So let's say for the hair, this should be the darkest color. Choose it maybe one circle downwards or maybe two. Okay, experiment. And again, it's a personal preference. There is no right or wrong. It really depends on what you want. So for me, my formula is the darkest color. I choose slightly, maybe a circle or 1.5 circle, just slightly below, and I'll start painting. Set the brush size, and then I start painting. Now, the painting part is really easy. You can just follow your lines and you can start painting. But there's one issue. does the color line art, again, because it's color, is the color line art harmonizing with the entire image? So if I were to choose the darkest color, is same thing, is this, and I choose something that is totally different. Now I'm gonna start painting here. It's still separating with the hair, but when you look on the left side, it's as if like there's a foreign object that is in this artwork. If you're someone who likes this kind of very visual triggering, or very, you know, you can invoke some emotions when people start looking at, hey, what's that? That kind of emotions. If you really want that, yes, you can. But for me, I want it to be more of a support kind of character in a game, in a maybe like a League of Legends and stuff. It's a support. It should not steal the main highlight from my carry, which is the character. So I'm going to choose the darkest color, just move it slightly downwards, and I'm going to start applying it. And of course, looking at the left view, just to make sure that it's not stealing any attention. And I'm going to start painting. So this formula really works for everything, most of the thing, but there are some situations that we have to tackle, and let's hope, because I'm also not very sure whether will we meet one here, but should I meet any of the colors that is not really working with one another with this formula, then I'll sound out. But if not, I'll be doing this thing. So right now, I'm really just gonna start blending in. So when drawing, you are pretty much you're like the traffic controller, the policeman that is standing in the junction, or the policewoman. Yeah. Why do I say that? It's because the way you construct your lines, the way you use your colors, you really can control what the viewers will see first, second, and third. But the common approach is usually people will notice the eyes, the face, and then if it's a sexy girl, it's probably the boobs. If it's a handsome guy, it's probably the face expression, I guess. Or maybe same thing, maybe it's the chest, yeah. But if you want to break out from the norm, then you can use your colors. Maybe you want them to focus on the knee, maybe you want them to focus on the weapon. So every line that you draw, every color that you use, it could more or less assist the direction on where you want your viewers to start seeing the things from. If you want them to notice the line art, by all means use a high contrasting color for the line art. But if you're like me, they want them to notice the character as a whole, and then start looking at the face, then the weapons, and moving downwards. Yeah, then my line art will be a supporting character, and it will be subtle, but just enough to support the frame and the character and everything else. While the blending still takes the main highlight. Okay, so we're just gonna, all these little chicken scratches, we're gonna also coat it with the brown tone, the brown tint. Is it brown tint? Yeah. Okay. So same thing here as well. Oh yeah, remember to save your file. Don't forget to save a file. Okay. remember just now I mentioned about here being weird, not blended enough. Well, yeah, it don't really look weird. Okay, maybe it does, maybe it still does, but because here, so I'm just gonna shift it down. But yeah, the more you paint, and then when you look at it as a whole, sometimes the issue no longer look as big as it was, and probably maybe just by removing oops and just chicken scratches, okay, done. That kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I meant by keep moving on, draw, paint, and sometimes you might just forget about it. Sometimes if you does, the solutions just come very naturally to you to solve the issue. Then once we've done that, we're gonna do with the face. So for the face, same thing. I will try to avoid using the contrast colors here. So once I pick this, I will just move down slightly, move down the red. I know this is still very bright, so sometimes I have to really try to. This is more about experimenting now. We'll try this color. Okay, so far so good. Alright. So same thing here. Same outwards. Same thing over here. So I'll say the key takeaway for the way I choose line arts color, I try not to go beyond the middle line. That's one, because I don't want the line art to take these contrasting colors, and I try to use desaturated darker colors over here. Okay, so that's my formula on choosing colors, unless there's a special occasion or special reason. Yeah, if not, usually it's this formula. Okay, so for the skin tone, means that all the skin areas are gonna use this for the outline. So over here as well. And the most fun part, we use the brightest color for the skin and just do a highlight. Maybe a mid tone also can. This one you can experiment. This one a bit too much. Okay, and then same thing over here. Then going downwards here. Something here as well. There we go. Again, look at the overview. It looks nice and stuff, but okay, never mind. I'll just put a dot here. Okay. All right. So for the eyelashes and stuff, we're using the line art same as the hair. Usually, I'll use the line art color same as the hair. Then moving over here, same thing, curve it as well. Okay, now the mouth and the nose. For the mouth, I usually use the cheek colors, and then just slightly, and then I'll give it a curve. It's like as if it's opening the mouth. And then for the nose, same thing. Coat it with this color. Erasing up. Oops, still. Oops, wait. Okay, yeah, it looks very wrong, but it's cool. Yeah, so that's pretty much for the mouth and the nose area. And same thing for the ear. I like to highlight all these parts. This is really enjoying the highlight process. There isn't any reason like why do you want to highlight the ear? No, there's no reason. It's just nice, I guess. Yeah, I just enjoy highlighting stuff. Okay, and as well, you can notice that I usually do this. Highlight this as well. It's just so fun. Okay, but if the lines doesn't join up, I try to do it. Okay, and then same thing. Scrubbing out these lines. The eyelashes. Here also, I think here no need lah. Here this one second. And then if you can, then just put at the side bit. Just these extra dots that don't make sense. Okay, and then for the eye, if this is the darkest color for the brown, I'll move it slightly down, give it a bit of reddish color. We'll try to see if it works. There's a lot of experimentation. You really have to try out different combination. There isn't a guidebook on what goes by nice and stuff, and yeah, those kind of stuff. So sometimes also I see reference maybe for anime or even from artists that uses colored lineups, and I tried to use their colors, but it just doesn't sit well with my own drawing. So I have no choice. I have to use my own way of understanding and drawing to figure out what is suitable for me. Yeah. So this is the struggle that I have to go through at the start. I'm still going through, still learning. Yep. Okay, so we're done with that. We'll tackle this area first. So for the suit, there's a bit of the dark blue green kind of. So I'm going to choose a darker color. Again, remember to save your file. Okay. Alright. Moving onwards. So really only coloring the line art that is related to the armor area with this dark green. Nothing else, not the sword, not anything else. This area. Okay. Right, and then the chicken scratches. Okay, all good. Okay, then we're gonna do the armor, which is the gray area. The way down it. Same thing. Let's coat it. Again, patience. Don't rush. Just enjoy the process of outlining. Don't think about the end result. Focus on the line. Look at the overview. Does it look nice? That should be the question that you are asking yourself. Does it look nice? And not okay, I want to finish it up. Okay, yeah, I'm going to finish it up. Okay, so we're done with this one here. Highlight this and the sword here as well. Get rid of the handle. Okay, just I'll do this. Yeah. Once we are done with this, we are going to do the red lines. So pick the red line, same thing under the desaturated area. I'm gonna highlight it out. So if you can see on my screen that my colors are really close to each other and it's not really obvious. Later on we'll use the brightest color to sculpt it up. Always sculpt it. It's like digging, framing it to make it look obvious. So just give me a minute, I'll touch onto that. Okay, then once you do this, you highlight this one out here, use the brightest color, highlight all these lines. Maybe not the top part, just the bottom part here. Just a bit. Same thing for the lines for the sword. And all these parts. So I'm still in the stage of exploring because I think I can push the limit. Like for example, if it's red, then maybe the red items that are nearer to the top, which is the head area, the shoulder area, they can use this dark red line, and then as the thing get lower, I can use another tone. So still in the exploration phase. Yeah, need to draw more. Then if you've got time, then can explore also. Give me a minute. Okay. My aircon is kind of not cold, or I just keep talking this way. Okay, I don't really like the mouth here. Okay, can. Yeah, sometimes it's really just this kind of little bit adjustment. Okay, so same thing. Gonna move in to draw the rest of the parts. Maybe I could use it for the pink area. So it's really a exploration, I would say. You know, you explore what works and what not. Here, same thing, I'm just gonna sculpt it out here. For the sword, purposely using a white outline. Oh, it's a bit too white. Okay, I need to tone it down slightly. What I mean by two, I mean that when I look at it, it's really drawing all the attention, so that's not what I want. I just want a subtle one. Okay. Right. Now we're going in with the, oops, save your file. I'm gonna go for the boomerang. Darkest color, moving down slightly, a bit of reddish tone. My bad. checking any message. Sorry, got distracted. I got a message. Okay, oops. Okay, so we'll continue. Remember to save your canvas. Covered. Circle it out. Yeah, something like that. Right, and then I'm gonna choose a color for the brown bandage lines. This on here as well. And maybe I would try using this brown for this. I've tried brown for the yellow lines as well. But I'll be using the yellow lines to pull out the image. I'll show you in a bit. So using the orange lines. Curve around it. There we go. Something like that. Yeah. Right. And rotate it. Just clean up a bit over here. Same thing. Just add some lines here. Usually I will cross. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's just for fun. This is really just for fun. Okay, so you have that. Then use the white part and just really circle out and just do some white chicken scratches. Really just to fill up the empty spaces. To make a simple item look not that simple. In other words, complicate things. Just here, going upwards as well. And then going down, going up, going across, and yes, it's curving up as well. And there we go. Looks. This one, maybe a bit too much. Just cut away a bit. Okay, can I do this? Okay, I should set an example of doing weird stuff. Okay, we just leave it there. Nice. Okay, so this is without the color line art, and this is the color line art. Okay, so no color, color, no color, color. Yes. All right. Okay, let me just look through the comments. there's any, here's quiet or good. Great. Okay. You're welcome, DA Prodigal Zone. I wish I had more questions, but I'm just enjoying the stream. Thank you very much, Chibi E. Can you give me little input on my line art and color blend? Yeah. Yes, sweatpants, pajamas. Yes. Alright, but don't teach your students very rules. Yeah. Okay, let me emphasize this again. If you are a student and you are attending art school, please take a pinch of a salt. I think that's what the Adam say. So just take a little bit of what I'm saying and apply it, or even don't apply it. Just listen as like a podcast. I think that's what. Yeah. Don't do it on your assignment. Don't do it on your assignment. Okay. Whatever you hear, see, do, apply it to your hobby. Never do it on your assignment. It's gonna cause you a lot of trouble. Your teachers won't like it. I think your teachers won't like it because it's really not normal. It's like asking you to paint a sphere with a proper shadow and then there's some weird triangle going on inside. So don't do it. Thank you very much. That nyok. I'm very sorry if I pronounced wrongly, but yeah. So don't break any rules if you're doing assignment. Okay, it won't do you any good. But hobby wise, passion can. Let me look at your line art color input. Let me see. Do you put it here in the share art? Okay, can. Let me just look at this one. Okay, take a look at smiley one. Phase 2 as compared to phase 1. Yeah, definitely smoother. I can really see that you are controlling your what is it called? These limitations that you put on yourself. It's like it was all the colors you chose, you splatter it and you tied them together very firmly with your lines, all these outlines. Yeah, good stuff. Very good. Keep it up. And then yeah, good stuff. I usually won't say anything negative. I don't say positive stuff, but if it's, I won't praise you for no reason. If I see an improvement, I'll definitely emphasize it and mention it as a point. So good. Okay, so for your colored line art wise, the Prodigal Zone. Yep. All right. So you can see over here like this. Okay, I'm gonna show you a quick example. So it's a form of quick example as in help you instantly understand what I meant by choosing a darker color. Okay. So right now everything is good. You pretty much nail the colored line art, but if you notice your hammer, that the line art isn't very obvious. So there's only two conclusions. One, you purposely, intentionally want it to be like that, or you're not sure what color to choose. So if it's intentional, by all means, you can keep it as it is. There's no need for further changes. Everything looks nice. Just need continuous practice. But if it's not intentional, then you really have to go even lower, because the colors over here is really dark. So purposely going down, which is really close to the original line art color, but it's still at least in the red color zone. This 1, 2, which is totally going opposite the spectrum, going way up here, and pulling in this high extreme contrast lineup. So it really depends on what you want to show to the viewers, you want what the viewers to feel when they see your art. So this is what I meant by you have to think like, okay, is the weapon going to be striking? Do I want it to be striking, or I just want it to be a big hammer? That's all. So there's no right or wrong answer. It's more on a personal preference, like which one do you prefer. Okay, so I hope that answer your question. Not this one. That okay, can. That okay, not intentional. Oh, okay, can. Oh, all right. So you kind of like the lighter lineup. Cool. So this is there are many ways to play around with it. There is no fixed rules. So that being said, if the entire drawing is very bright, the lineup, then of course the hammer will lose its attracting power. So you have to play carefully. Again, same thing, practice, 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 and you'll naturally be good and comfortable. The keyword here is comfortable, because right now it's something new, it's very raw. So the more you use it, and then it's very comfortable and it comes naturally, like what colors to use. Okay, so with that, that's the end for today. I think, yeah, correct, that's the end for today. And next week, Tuesday, again, will be another character. I have no idea what will it be. Same thing, sketch, line art. Thursday, coloring, color line art. Seems like there's gonna be like 3 hours. 2 hours is really not enough. And it's really so simple. It's not Arknight's level difficulty. But again, thank you very much for your time. I think that's the most valuable thing on earth, which is time. So thank you very much for your time, and I really hope that through all this chatting with you, explaining my thought process, one way or the other, it can help you to understand how I do things, and hopefully you can use the things that I'm using on a daily basis to just make your drawing experience more happy. At the end of the day, I want you to draw happily. Don't struggle, don't find it a hassle, but really just enjoy completing one drawing, moving on to the next one, and so on and so forth. So that's my goal on why I'm doing it free online, because I know a lot of people are drawing. Some are inspired by me, some are inspired by others, but some are just really like drawing cute stuff. So I really want these lessons to assist you in a way to make you enjoy drawing and sharing your art to your fellow friends online or whatsoever. Okay, so I will save this image, I'll put it on Discord, I will do the usual packing and everything else, and I'll upload it as well. And with that, thank you very much and good night, everybody. I think I answered all the questions already. Yeah. Good morning for me, yes. Okay. Yeah, go. Okay. Bye bye. And yeah, there's nothing. Okay. Bye bye.